Hi students, hello, how are you all? So in this class, let us discuss structure of the atom. 10th class, PS part 1, structure of the atom. So already in the previous class, 9th class, already we know about atoms and molecules and the matter, what is the smallest portion of the matter. So everything we discussed. The smallest particle of the matter is nothing but atom. John Dalton given that atom is indivisible. After that, atom consisting of some subatomic particles. So what are the subatomic particles? Already we have 3 subatomic particles: electron, proton and neutron. So electron having negative charge, electron, and it is denoted by E minus. So minus represents its charge, and proton is a subatomic particle, proton having positive charge. So we can write proton as a P positive. And next one, neutron. Neutron without any charge, no charge. So these are the 3 subatomic particles present inside the atom. You have acquired some fundamental ideas of atomic models. So famous scientists J.J. Thomson and Ernest Rutherford and Niels Bohr. Already J.J. Thomson given plum pudding model or watermelon model, and Ernest Rutherford given some modifications to the J.J. Thomson model, and Niels Bohr after that given some more modifications to the Rutherford's model. So this is also called a planetary model like that. Let us conduct a small activity. Now I am giving a task. So now you have electron, proton, neutron, and already you know that some models about J.J. Thomson model, Rutherford model and Niels Bohr model. If you want, take from the help of your parents and teachers, and even you can take from the internet. So create your own model for the atom, give a structure. So that means how you can arrange the electrons and neutrons and proton inside the atom. That is the task. So after completing that, after arranging that, so we will have some questions. Let us discuss. So now observe the models of Thomson model, Rutherford model and Bohr's model. So according to J.J. Thomson model, in this watermelon, all the red colored part is represents proton, and electrons are embedded in the red color part. So next one is Ernest Rutherford model. After conducting gold foil experiment, he said the maximum space present inside the atom is empty. So that is why he given this total atom is consisting of total empty space, and at the center of the atom only protons are present. Protons present inside the center, that is called nucleus. So we arranged protons inside the nucleus and electrons are revolving around the nucleus. Niels Bohr suggested some shells paths. So based on this knowledge, you can give your own model. So after that, let us discuss these questions. Now answer these questions. The first question is, do all the atoms have the same subatomic particles? And second question is, why are the atoms of one element is different from atoms of another element? And third question is, how are the electrons distributed in the space of an atom? To answer these questions, we need to know about the nature of the light, colored frames and their characteristics. Let us see. First one, let us see spectrum. Spectrum. What is spectrum? Let us see. Spectrum. So you must have observed the formation of rainbow. Everybody know about rainbow. How many colors are there in the rainbow? There are 7 colors. What are those colors? How can you say? Yes, there is a small code. What is that? VIBGYOR. So based on this, by observing this VIBGYOR, you can give the colors of the rainbow. So what are the 7 colors? Violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. So what are the 7 colors? V means V. Violet, I, indigo, B, blue, G, green, Y, yellow, R, orange and R for red. So these are the 7 colors present in the rainbow. So if you observe the rainbow, you can find the colors are continuously spreading. That means the intensity of the color is varies from point to point. That means intensity of the color changes from one point to another point. You can observe the rainbow ones. And next one, wave nature. Let us see what is wave and what is the nature of the wave. Wave nature of light. Wave nature of light. First of all, before knowing about the wave nature of light, first of all, we should have an idea about what is wave. What is wave nature? So, for example, if you throw a stone in the still pond, what do you observe? You will observe ripples. If you throw a stone in the stagnated water or still pond, there will be ripples formed. Okay, so you will observe ripples. At the same time, another example, if you beat a drum, that means any object vibrates, can produce sound waves. Okay, ripples looks like a wave formation, and a vibrating substance produces sound waves. So like that, when electric charge vibrates, when an electric charge vibrates, it produces electromagnetic wave. Electromagnetic wave. Vibrate means moving back and forth, and to and fro. Mundiki vanakiki kadalada, vibrates. Now we will get a question. How do the vibrating electric and magnetic field around the charge become a wave that travel through space? How do the electric and magnetic field, vibrating electric and magnetic field around the charge become a wave and travel through space? A vibrating electric charge creates electric field, and change in electric field creates change in magnetic field. So this continues, and this electric field and magnetic field both are perpendicular to each other to the direction of the wave, to the direction of the propagation of the direction of the wave. So both electric and magnetic fields perpendicular to each other to the direction of the propagation of the wave. So observe this diagram. Observe the picture. Electric field, magnetic field and direction of the propagation of the wave. Visible light, whatever light we are seeing now, that is called visible light. Visible light is an electromagnetic wave, and the speed of the light is C is equal to 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. Visible light is an electromagnetic wave. And the speed of light. So it is represented by C is equal to 3 into 10 power 8, 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. Meter per second, you can write meter dot s power minus 1 like that, meter per second. What are the characteristics of the electromagnetic wave? Let us discuss what are the characteristics of electromagnetic wave. Characteristics of electromagnetic wave. Characteristics of electromagnetic wave. So electromagnetic waves behaves like a waves in the ocean. Electromagnetic waves behaves like a ocean waves. How the waves travel, propagate in the ocean. So same like that, electromagnetic waves also propagates. Like ocean waves, electromagnetic wave is also characterized by wavelength. Wavelength is denoted by lambda and frequency. So like ocean waves characterized, likewise electromagnetic wave also characterized by wavelength lambda and frequency nu. So what is wavelength? What is wavelength? If you observe the wave, there are some peaks. So what is wavelength? If you observe the wave, there are some peaks. So the distance from one peak to another peak. So this is called wavelength. Distance between any two consecutive peaks. So you can take here also, this is also wavelength. This is also wavelength. Distance between any two peaks of the wave is called wavelength. Then what is the frequency? Frequency is nothing but for unit time given at the given point, for unit time, how many waves, how many peaks are produced. How many peaks are produced? Here 1, 2, 3. So the number of peaks produced for a unit time at the given point is called frequency. Okay, at the given point for a unit of time, how many peaks are produced, that means how many waves are produced. How many waves are produced is called frequency. Simply you can say frequency is a number. Frequency is a number and wavelength is the distance. So distance between two wave peaks. What are the units for wavelength? Wavelength is a distance. So wavelength denoted by lambda. So it is a distance now. That is why what are the units for distance? Centimeters. And units for frequency. Frequency denoted by nu. Okay. So this is just a number. So these units are reciprocal seconds. We will call reciprocal second. That means 1 by second, or you can write s power minus 1 like that. You can also write reciprocal second. The relation between these two quantities, wavelength and frequency. Relation between lambda and nu. Lambda is inversely proportional to 1 by nu. So if you remove the proportionality constant, then you will write lambda is equal to c by nu. So c is the constant. C is equal to nu lambda. Relation between lambda and nu. So lambda is inversely proportional to 1 by nu, that is equal to, that implies lambda is equal to c by nu. So here c is the constant. So c is the speed of the light in the vacuum. So lambda is equal to c by nu, that implies c is equal to nu lambda. C is equal to nu lambda. So the relation between wavelength and frequency is simply lambda is inversely proportional to 1 by nu. So here lambda is wavelength and nu is frequency. So we will get c is equal to nu lambda. Here c is the speed of light in vacuum and nu is frequency and lambda is wavelength. So now the question is, can we apply this equation for all the waves? Yes, the answer is yes. C is equal to nu lambda is a universal relation we can apply to any wave, sound wave, light wave, or any waves. We can use this relation. So we can apply this equation for all the waves. So one thing you have to remember, so lambda is inversely proportional to 1 by nu. That means when the frequency is increases, automatically the wavelength will decreases. In the given time, for example, there are only 3 wave peaks. That means if the frequency increases is nothing but number of wave peaks increases. If the number of wave peaks are increases, what happens? The distance between these peaks will decreases. That's why, so when the frequency is increases, wavelength automatically decreases. Electromagnetic wave can have a wide variety of frequencies. The entire range of all these frequencies is called electromagnetic spectrum. Electromagnetic wave can have a wide variety of frequencies. The entire range of these frequencies is called electromagnetic spectrum. The familiar example for the visible spectrum is rainbow. Each color in a rainbow is specified by a specific wavelength and frequency. So that is from red color to violet color. Each color in a rainbow is specified by different characteristics, like from red to violet. Red color has high wavelength and low frequency, and violet color have low wavelength and high frequency. What about remaining colors in between these two colors, red and violet? So these colors or these wavelengths are visible to naked eye for humans. So that is why this is called visible spectrum. Visible spectrum is nothing but from red color to violet. Just we can say VIBGYOR. VIBGYOR is visible to human naked eye. That is why this is called visible spectrum. Visible spectrum. Now we will get another question. So only we are able to see visible spectrum. That means 7 wavelengths only we are able to see. Are there any other wavelengths? Now the question is, are there any other wavelengths other than visible spectrum? So answer exactly yes, there are so many number of wavelengths. That means that is why I said electromagnetic wave is a wide variety of wavelengths. That means so many wavelengths are there, but it is only 7 wavelengths are visible to naked eye. So far we discussed about structure of the atom, introduction to the structure of the atom, and spectrum and wave nature of the light, and electromagnetic spectrum and visible spectrum. So based on this, after watching this, you have a small task. Complete these questions and send me. So this is the home task for you. First one, what are the three subatomic particles? What are the three subatomic particles? And second question is, what is the speed of light in vacuum? What is the speed of light in vacuum? And third one, define electromagnetic spectrum. Definition you have to write. Define electromagnetic spectrum. And fourth one, what is the visible spectrum? What is the visible spectrum? And fifth question, give the relation between lambda and nu, wavelength and frequency. Give the relation between wavelength and frequency. Thank you. We will meet again in the next part.